This is going to alleviate a lot of teachers' concerns. In Texas, teachers are now eligible for the coronavirus vaccine.
In fact, up until now, Texas vaccines were reserved for select groups that most teachers did not fall into. But Erica Zuko is joining us right now with some new changes here. What brought about this sudden change, Erica?
Yeah, Barry and Sarah, it was an order by the president in a letter that was sent by the Department of Health and Human Services to the Texas Department of State Health Services, saying that teachers and child care staff should now be eligible for the vaccine. And so the state did make that change. They issued a press release yesterday with details on it. This makes both teachers and some of those other staff members eligible. Now, the order had required states to make people who work in these school and child care operations eligible for shots. University Health will be working to help get teachers vaccinated. Now, who qualifies for this? There are pre-primary, primary, and secondary teachers, people who are involved with Head Start and Early Start programs, including teachers, staff, and bus drivers, licensed child care providers, including center-based and family care providers. Here's what one teacher had to say about all this.
It felt like one of the few and rare successes that we've had this year in terms of advocating for our lives. Us getting vaccines in our arms soon will take some of the sting away from that.
Groups that were already eligible will remain eligible, but one question still remains about how many more vaccines we're going to get over the next few weeks and months. Still, there is a huge demand for vaccines here in San Antonio, and local leaders have been calling to get a lot more, but we don't know exactly yet when that will happen. Back to you.